Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Hello, lovely people. Back again. Obviously, we're through. Liverpool 0, Inter Milan 1. Obviously, it's going to be one of those shows where, you know, obviously we critique players and etc. Again, the only criteria I've got, we'll always disagree on stuff. Like, it's just nature of life. Don't have a problem with it. Just remain respectful to one another in the comments, and obviously, please do remain respectful to me and Drift as well. That's all I'm going to say. If you disagree, you agree, no problem. Absolutely no problem. But just remain respectful to everyone. No need for any rudeness or name calling, whether it be to us or anyone else in the comments. Let's just get through this and we'll see whether we agree or disagree. This is the nature of life, people. So let's do this. Drift, speak. Obviously, we spoke about the first half at half time. The second half, what did you make of it?
Might have got a bit worse than the first half, to be honest. I mean, we lost the second half as well, so effectively it was worse. I just feel like we were off the pace today, Cal. I feel like the passing was a yard off, finishing was a yard off, the whole team was a yard off. Just in general, everything was just a yard off. Overhit, underhit. Yeah, I mean, Mo, I don't know if you've seen Mo's post-match interview. He said he feels like this was a good result considering we went through, because maybe it's the kick up the butt that you need to not get overconfident, and a feeling of invincibility can make you naive at times. And he's got a point. He's got a point. Sometimes it is better to be on your toes and live in a bit of fear, rather than to, do you know what I mean? Rather than to just get complacent. Because as I said before, this is no shade. You're allowed to have whatever opinion you want in a positive way, because like I'm all for positivity. But when everyone did the whole we're going to win the league quadruple stuff, that's what I always said, guys, there's a long way to go, calm down. And I hope a game like today is just giving you a little bit of a wake up to like, we're a brilliant team. But on another day, we could have gone out today in that performance. And that can happen at any moment in the season. Do you know what I mean? So let's just take every game as it comes. And let's just be glad we're still through. I'm still happy. Even though that performance was terrible, Cal. That was that might be the worst performance we've done for a watch-along. I'm trying to think how many more. That's a really bad performance, Cal, isn't it?
We had Brent. We did have Brent. I think we did a watch-along for Brentford.
But at least during the Brentford game, we scored 2 goals and had 3 goals and had moments in the game. Like, I don't remember us. Like, I know we hit the post and the crossbar.
No, we hit the post and crossbar 3 times. Salah had one where I think he should have. Well, no, that was one of the cross. Luis Diaz was miraculously saved by Vidal.
Yeah. All right. Let me, because me saying chances is wrong. I mean, any like part of sustained possession or control, we didn't have any. Like, at least in the Brentford game, there were parts during the game where we'd have a 5 or 10 minute spell where we're in control a bit. I didn't feel we was in control of that game at any moment of the entire match. Do you get what I mean? So. It was definitely top 3 then of like worst watch-alongs that we've done in terms of the performance of the team. But we're through. So I'm still happy. I'm really upset with that performance, but we're through. So I'm not going to dwell on it too much. Let's not get too down. It is upsetting to lose. You don't want to. But as I said to Cal off camera, and I'll say it on camera, I don't ever want to lose a game. But if I'm going to lose a game, let it be a game where it don't matter. Because essentially, a 1-0 defeat today didn't matter. We're through.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I hear you. Diogo says, Drift, did you see Lewis no-looked his shot?
Did he?
I didn't even realise he did
myself. No, I didn't even see that.
Pimp in Distress says, we're through, that's all that matters, but we need to pick up performances starting on Saturday. Having said that, 2 inches here or there, and it could have been 3-1. We move, you'll never walk alone. Very true. Very true. 2 inches makes all the world of difference, though. Pause.
Either way. Either way.
For real. Pat Sunday says, get ready for losses after that disgusting performance. Can't see any trophies after that display. Get punished by playing like that. See, I think that's going too far. I'll be honest. I think that's going too far. That would be like me coming out after a game. Let's say we had won that tonight, and I come out and I said, "There's no way we're losing a game between now and the end of the season, and no one can touch us, and there's no chance that anyone can beat." Like, you guys would be like, "I'll get a grip." Like, have some belief in the team, but get a grip at the same time. For me, Cat Sunday, respectfully, I think you've gone too far the other way there. I'd say that we've got no chance of winning anything. Let's be honest, we played about as poor as you can play tonight. But yet we still were unlucky in terms of not winning the game because of the shots hitting the post and all that. So for me, that's going a bit too far the other way. AM says, I'm fuming. That performance was disgusting. I don't care that we're through. I agree with the first bit. I definitely care we're through, though.
Yeah. I mean, again, you're more than entitled to your opinion. And I've seen a couple of people saying because it was at Anfield, that is why they're so angry we lost. And I get that. You want that air of invincibility. Cal said it during the game. It's the first time we've lost at Anfield for 2 years in Champions League. So I get it. It is that kind of feeling of like, right, you know what I mean? But records are there to be broken, guys. And I'd rather the record was broken when it doesn't matter. Again, we're through, though. So let's go on another 2-year run now. Innit? That's how you do it, man. Get it out your system when it don't matter.
AI said, just unlucky today and wasteful. Inter only had 2 shots on target. We move. I'm excited for the season. The quadruple is still on. Yeah, I agree.
It is indeed.
Pete Al says, this was my perfect result. I thought we were going to lose a game this season, and now we can kick off. We need it after West Ham and Leicester, all 4 coming.
So Pete's going along my sentiment that I would rather lose a game when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then you start another run. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's the best way. Look, Tottenham beat City, and City used that as an opportunity to reset and go on another run now. And they're looking like they're real ready to do it. Let's hope this was our defeat and then we go and do the same. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Math says, I said at West Ham, the midfield would be the death of us. We need pace and bite in midfield, but it was the forwards that missed chances today. But we move. Agreed.
Yeah. Cal, just on that, to honour the super chat in all of what we watched today, do you feel like there can be times when being silky just ain't the one? And today was the thing, because there's 3 beautiful footballers in our midfield today, all very good. Ball retention is beautiful, lovely on the ball, passing is ridiculous, but no bite, no pace. And then look, they just got in about us, roughed us up a bit with the refs' help, obviously, dickhead. And yeah, made the midfield look average. And there were 2 world-class ballers and a real generational, hopefully up-and-coming baller in there. And they made us look kind of weak in there because they just roughed us up, bro. So do you have to have that enforcer? Hendo came on and the game did get a bit better for us in terms of the control because he was being a bit more physical, and it wasn't about, you know what I mean? It wasn't about being silky. It became about energy and tenacity. And Naby as well. And we got a little bit more bite in midfield. And so is it one of them things where, for real, you have to have that guy who's ready to take someone out?
I think it's difficult to judge. And again, I don't want this to come across like I'm downplaying what Naby and Hendo did when they came on, but they both came on when we went down to 10 men. So it's difficult to judge them on that performance.
Yeah, again, I hear that.
I still don't think Jones, Fabinho or Thiago had a rubbish game.
No.
I actually think they played
they got roughed up, Cal, though, didn't they? They did get roughed up, you know what I mean?
So, but even if you think about it, Drift, Fabinho won the ball back quite a lot. Thiago's tackling and winning the ball back quite a lot. And Curtis Jones was retaining the possession and winning the ball back as well. It's just that I think what would happen sometimes is when they did get through our midfield, no one was quick enough to get back. And that's my problem. Like, we are very good a lot of the time at getting the ball back when we press from midfield. But it's that time when a team does play through us, which is inevitable in every game. There is going to be times where teams can play through your team. But when they get through, that's when I worry, because I'm like, Fabinho ain't got the pace to get back, Thiago ain't got the pace to get back, and Jones ain't got the pace to get back. Whereas a Basuma would. Mascherano back in the day did. Gerrard did. So it's like we
Kante,
need
that type of
Kante
player.
does. Kovacic does. Like, so it's like one of those type of players where I think
it's always the thing I've been a little annoyed with Flacco. I just wish he had a yard or two more pace. I do.
Yeah. But he gets away with it because he's so good.
He'd be perfect then, and I guess we can't be perfect. So
exactly. Taji says Drift losing to a 10-man team at home should not. Yeah,
I hear that, but they scored before they went down to 10.
Yeah, again, yeah.
It weren't like they went down to 10 and then they scored. But I get what you mean.
Promo says we were poor, but credit to Inter. Jota been poor. Credit to Inter. Facts. Inter were excellent, man. Inter were excellent. Bajan Barnes says, big up fellas, not a good game, but we move. Hopefully, now that big Verge mistake, which he should have closed down for, lights a fire and we pick up steam and move. Thiago was sourcing today. Shake my head at the ref. Yeah, I'd shake my hand at the ref still. Obviously, I won't do that on camera.
Matt referee. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Ref was fucking terrible today.
Shaq says UEFA will fix draws. I think City or Chelsea next. Yeah, probably. They probably already decided who we're going to get next.
They don't want the English teams in the final, or they don't. They definitely they'll try their hardest on that one. I agree.
Should we speak about the ref now then before we do play ratings then, bro?
Yeah, there's a few just a few points that I think was made, like the goal, for example. Obviously, we may touch on it in the player race, but bro, I've said, like, no question how much I adore Virgil, but I've said, bro, he's very lackadaisical, and it makes him brilliant, but there are occasions where it doesn't. And I've said this before, and I know people are like, you can't say that about Virgil. I don't like that he doesn't engage. He's very lackadaisical at times, Cal, and a lot of time we get away with it, so it goes under the rug, but I don't forget it because it worries me. And today is a prime example. Virg engages him, and he blocks that shot, and it's 0-0, and there isn't even that worry at the end of the game. But the fact that he just went, go on in, he's got too much faith in Alisson being able to make the save because he's a world-class goalie, and it's too confident. You know, you can just be too arrogant. You know what I mean? He's got that Prince Nazim about him, where it almost got to the point where we started to get punched because he was so arrogant that it was like, you know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying, and I know he's not an arrogant person, but he plays arrogantly. Go on then. What are you going to do? Bro, sometimes you just have to engage, bro.
Yeah.
You have to engage. And that goal is absolutely preventable by Virgil just stepping up a yard and engaging and making a block. The ball missed his fire by like this much where he was. He takes a yard further forward, Cal, and he blocks that shot. He cannot just be like, go on then. What are you going to do? You can't do that, man. You have to engage. You have to, because when man hits a worldie like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the little things that I feel like we get away with that I don't like. And I've said it before, so people can't just say I'm only saying it now. I've said it before. No, Virgil's very lackadaisical with his defending. Very lackadaisical, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
Once again, I'm just going to reiterate in the comments, you don't have to agree with what we say. You don't have to agree with each other. Be respectful. Like, I will block people. Like Alex Devine, I'm talking to you in particular here. Like, respect. Like, be respectful. Don't have to agree. Don't have to disagree. Just chill.
Is it to someone else or one of us?
It doesn't matter, does it?
If it's to one of us, then obviously I'll give it a little bit. But if it's to someone else, he's getting put in the timeout because I don't want people being rude to each other. I'm a be real drift. Like one of the things that we love about Kopish is that we've got a community where we can agree to disagree, but still joke. I'm saying. So if he's being rude to someone else, that's a timeout. I don't want people being rude to each other. I'm not having that.
So let's leave that alone.
And if it's to us, then you know what I mean. You might just strike, strike. There's certain manner of strikes already.
Yeah. All right, gonna get through some more super chats. By the way, I agree with everything you said on Virgil. Not to completely ignore it, but I do.
Yeah.
That's agree. Mr. Dare I Say It just says, would you sign Erling if we don't sign anyone for 5 years?
That's a cow, Christian.
No, can't. 5 years is way too long to go without a signing.
Yeah, bloody weird. Can you imagine how bad our squad would be if we went 5 years without any additions? Oh my days.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Edward says, Drifty, Farrow's been bitten by the Everton bitterness bug.
Don't lie. What was she talking a little rough about Liverpool? Farrell, don't let me down, girl. Don't let me down. Come on.
Kadir
She's a
says,
Chelsea fan, though. So that she's got a
Yeah.
natural hate for us anyway.
For real. Kadir says, VVD Anfield record gone. VVD for that goal didn't do enough. Is it 27 unbeaten game record gone? Today was like, we happy with a draw, wrong mentality. Seemed like it.
Yeah, I agree. We did look like we were happy with the draw. But it
by
is
the
very
way,
difficult to super motivate yourself to like really go and get goals when you got a 2-0 advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I agree. Just to clarify as well, the Virgil record is not his Prem record, it's the Champions League record. The Prem record's still fine.
Yeah, guys, remember he lost in the game when Adrian made those mistakes. So Virgil has lost at Anfield before. Yeah,
and then barely played any Champions League games last season. So
did he play any? I don't even know if he played any Champions League
one
games.
Or two, if that.
Yeah.
M Shack says, I'm done with Salah, play Grandad Milner instead. I can't agree with that one, M Shack.
Although Mo does look like he needs to be taken out for a game or so. He ain't been himself for 2 or 3 games now. So
we said this.
Yeah, it is a little worrying. His form's dipped at the wrong time in the season. I can't lie.
Yeah,
but you can't be a superstar every week.
No, very true, very true. So I'm just in the process of blocking someone.
Yeah.
Mr. Tibbs09 says, in a way, I am glad this result happened. This needs to be a kick up the backside. Hopefully it will be.
That's what I'm hoping.
Dirtily done, but job done anyway. Quarters, here we come. You'll never walk alone. Very true. Very true.
Yeah, very. That's the perfect way to put it if you're just summing it up in a sentence, for real.
Yeah. Wayne says, we are through to a quarter final of the Champions League. Cheer up. Oh, we're happy, but we have to speak about the game. We are happy, Wayne. Me personally, I find it difficult to come on a stream and be overly happy when we've lost the game, even if we've gone through. But that's just me personally. I'm happy we're through. Like, the main thing was getting through.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Bajan Barnes says Jota was poor and only starter Klopp got wrong. I don't think he got. That's the starting lineup I would have gone for.
Yeah, I don't think it was wrong from the start. Yeah, I don't think it's wrong from the start, but he was on the pitch for about half an hour longer than he should have been, in my opinion.
Yeah. Promo says, since that dribbling stat, VVD's been scared to tackle. Potentially.
It better not be that. Jesus.
It could be, though. It could be.
That starts
weighing on your mind.
No.
I hope not too.
He better not be worrying about silly little Arsenal fan stats like that, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I hope not. Taji says, agree, Drift. VVD too calm, and that's irritating, bro. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. For me, he needs to understand when to and when to not do it.
Yeah. I don't mind when he does it out wide. I think he's really intelligent when he does it out wide. But when it's central and they can take a shot like today, just engage him. Just engage him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So for anyone who's here, Matt's not able to join. Matt is okay, but he's not able to join. Again, not going to go into it because I think it's only right he does if he wants to, but he's okay. He's fine. He'll be back when he's ready, but he is good. Sultan says, I wish we buy Brozovic from Inter. He's a baller. If I'm not mistaken, he's available on a free at the moment. So a good acquisition for anyone who gets him. Very good acquisition. Good player. Steven says, this was a bad day, just like the West Ham, but we go through and we move on. I love how we play crap and Italian champs can't progress against us. Big up to you two. Big up to you too as well.
Big up as well. And that's what you got to remember as well, guys. We just went through against the Italian champions.
Yeah.
That was no easy game. I said before I remember when everyone was like, oh yeah, I'm glad we got in it. And I said, guys, game there ain't going to be an easy game. And that was one of the hardest ties we've had in Europe for a while. In terms of if you look across the both legs, we didn't really play well against them, man. I'm just glad we're through, Cal. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm actually glad we're through. We didn't play well at the San Siro or Anfield against them.
Completely agree. Mr. Dare I Say It, Drifty says, for Brighton, I'm going Diaz, Bobby, and Sadio. We'll cover that in a preview for the show, but it's not a bad front three. Usman says, in my opinion, most of our players look really tired. Agreed. That's on Klopp, though. Rotation. That is on Klopp if that's the case. M Shack, would you add Coutinho now? No, I wouldn't, M Shack.
He's always he's gonna stick to his guns, guys. There's no point in us trying to convince him on that one.
I ain't gonna, the Coutinho thing. I'll have him in my fantasy league, but not in my real league team. So it is what it is.
Yeah, we all know about those double standards there, Cal.
Beijing Jota should slowly be integrated back and not starting. Haven't looked right since the injury. Agreed. Sam
but then he came off the bench the other day and he still looked poor, remember? So
yeah. Sam Matt's Legend says, no need to overanalyze the game. Job done. Focus on Brighton. Potential banana skin away game. Big banana skin away game, potentially. Bigger picture, 3 trophies to fight for. Let's move. Very, very true. On that basis, then, Drift, let's go into player ratings.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, doke. Where are we?
Perfect time for a wake-up call, as Danny says. It really is. I think that's what we've all kind of agreed on.
Yeah. All right. So let's start with Ali then, bro.
I would 7. I'd give Ali a 7, bro.
I was gonna give Ali an 8. I think everything he could have done, he done really well. Remember that save in the first half and the free kick, which had a horrible bounce in front of him as well.
That's the one that's standing out of my mind. That was a brilliant thingy.
I think his distribution was really good today.
But I mean,
for me, he couldn't have done anything about the goal.
No. That goal wasn't his fault in any way at all. But I still don't believe he was involved in the game more to get more than a 7. No, Calv, I'm being honest. Brilliant save, that save in the first half. But then again, if it goes in, we'd probably be criticising now.
Should we go 7.5 in the middle then?
All right. I still think that's high, but go on then.
I know you do, Drifty. I know you do. Trent.
I'd go 6.5 for Trent. I think he had a good game, but again, we lost the game, and I don't want to. This is just a disclaimer I'm going to put out there. Me personally, nobody's getting a higher rating than Alisson today. For me personally, because I think he was the main person who wasn't at fault for anything today. I think if you lose a game and have no control and are giving away passes all the time, the way we did today, I don't believe anybody in the team deserves to come out of that with a bigger score than the goalkeeper. So I'd go 6.5 for Trent personally. What do you think?
Yeah, I think 6.5 is fair. I haven't got any qualms with that, if I'm going to be honest, Drift. Some good set piece deliveries, but yeah, kind of. I don't think he got exposed defensively. Again, it's just, as it says, above average.
Just above average. I mean, if you argued with me to put him in good, I would have been like, I kind of see where you're coming from, but I definitely don't believe it was anything great, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Matip.
Matip gets a 6 for me today.
Yeah.
He was the one in the first half who was doing some really good passing, but then in the second half, he really didn't have a good half. Like, he was giving the ball away. He won some headers, but he was giving the ball away. Yeah, he was definitely half or at least a third of the fault for the goal.
I think he was the main fault. I think he was the main fault.
Do you think so? Ooh,
yeah.
I think that's a bit too harsh.
For me, he gave the ball in away in an area where we couldn't reset defensively quick enough, and then that's
I do get that. But they still had to beat 3 other players before they scored. even though it was him who initially
Yeah,
gave
but that's
the ball.
because we're all out of position. We're all shifted over. So even again, Virgil for me's got engaged, but I think part of Virgil not engaging was probably him thinking maybe there might be an overlap here. So maybe I need to hold my ground a little. Still not sticking up for him. He was still wrong, but maybe that was in his mind. Matip for me doesn't give the ball away. We're cool.
Yeah. I hear where you're coming from. Yeah, I'll go 6 for Matip.
That leads us nicely onto Virgil.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah,
6 again. I think he did quite well with most of the things he did today, but he's getting down scored for that. In my opinion, poor defending. Engages Clark, man. I'm sorry, I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not letting him off just because he's.
Sorry. All right. In fact, actually, Drew, is it not harsh to mark him down just for that? Because I actually think he was better than Matip overall in the game, and that was the only thing he kind of made a mistake with all game.
That is true, but in my opinion, I think he's more at fault for the goal than Matip, because even though Matip made the mistake, what Virgil had to do to erase Matip's mistake was way easier than he made it look. He literally a step out and he blocks the shot.
I'm gonna be honest.
He doesn't even get the shot off.
I want to debate the Virgil one. I think he was better than Matip, and I don't think he was.
He was better than Matip, but I personally feel like Virgil's part in the goal is a bit worse than Matip's. I can't watch him just stand there and watch Martinez have the shot. I'm sorry, I can't. For me, that's criminal. It's actually criminal to watch him take a shot.
Is it more criminal than giving the ball away when he didn't have to, though, Drew?
But Matip's. If Matip gave the ball away by being an idiot, I'd fully agree with you. But he was trying to pass the ball to Salah down the line to get us advanced. I can't be angry at forward-thinking passing too much.
No, but there's a time and a place for it, though. There's a time and a place for it. Sometimes you just take a touch, and because he was off balance as well. Like, for me, he shouldn't be doing that. Plus, Virgil bullied their attack for the whole game, pretty much.
He did.
I'll be honest.
I don't know, man. I'm just angry at Virgil for letting him have that shot.
7 for Virgil.
7, bro. That's quite a high score, you know.
7's good. 7's are good.
What do the people think about this one?
It's kind of split. It's kind of split from what I'm seeing. I mean, let's go through the middle then. 6.5.
Yeah. I won't argue against the 6.5. I won't argue that.
Robbo
gets a 7. I thought Robbo was really good today. I think he was one of the only players that can walk off the field with his head up today. And if he'd made that pass to Mo on that counter-attack we had, it may get an 8, because that would have been a goal if he gets that pass right. I think Robbo's the only player who can come off the field today and not be disappointed really with anything he did. So I'll give Robbo a 7.
I agree. Fabinho.
I'll let you go first on this one, bro. What do you think of Flacco today?
Probably going 6.5 for Fabinho.
First half was winning tackles. Second half kind of stopped winning tackles.
Yeah.
I'm all right with a 6.5. I'm all right with a 6.5 for Flacco. Yeah.
Thiago.
I got 6.5 again. I think I'll put him in the same category in terms of doing well first half, not so much second half.
I disagree, bro.
You think so?
Yeah. I can't think of anything Thiago really did wrong.
No, I'm not saying he did anything wrong, but I just don't think he did anything out the norm, if you get what I mean.
I mean,
that wasn't his usual Thiago. Some of the touches were sensational, but we know he's got that. But like, in terms of his overall contribution to the match, I don't think he did anything that I would usually expect from him. Like, I'd probably expect a little bit more dictation of the game, a little bit more control in the midfield. So I mean, what would you go? What would you give him?
Maybe I'm going to be accused of being too generous. I'd have gone a 7 for Thiago. I thought he was good tonight. Like, he was winning tackles. Defensively, I thought he was really good. He was winning tackles. I can't think of many times where he actually lost the ball. Yes, he wasn't as expansive with his passing, but that's probably a combination of Inter's midfield getting in and around and blocking off space, and he's not just gonna do a Hollywood pass or like do a silly pass for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank God he got up as well. Actually, let's touch on that while we're on Thiago, because he was the one involved.
yes.
The red card from Sanchez. Obviously, it was an accumulation of 2 yellows. Absolutely shocking tackles of both of them. Jesus, both of them almost could have been a red, really. First one, definitely.
All right, so the second one for me, Drift, I think watching it live, I was more frustrated because I feel he should have been sent off earlier. But watching it back again, it's one of those where it's a grey area one because
hard yellow, isn't it?
It's a touch. I tell you what, it's a hard one because the second one he wins the ball, but it's the follow through. He can't really stop his momentum there.
But
it's
that's
similar
the
to
rules now, isn't it?
I know, but it's similar to Virgil's tackle on Insigne a couple of years ago, where he wins the ball, but his follow through makes it look like a really bad challenge when you see it as a still image. But for me, I actually don't think the second one was a yellow, but the first one was a straight red.
Okay, so you're being
After
a bit lenient.
I watched it back a couple of times because they were showing it. For me, the second one's not a yellow, but the first one is a straight red. Straight red. I don't even understand how you see that, and you're just like, again, from the moment you see Thiago's leg and you see cuts in his leg from that tackle, at least have a look at it. So I don't know. That's just my humble opinion on it.
I think this is a good way to put it. Over the 2 challenges, the red is
100%. And I think that's probably why I was so emotionally invested in him getting a booking and a red card the second time. Because, and again, I say it all the time, the referee sets the standard for the game, and the referee's standard for the game today was absolutely horrific.
Oh man,
horrific,
shocking, absolutely shocking, absolutely shocking.
Yeah. So what were we giving for? So what were you giving Thiago? A 6.5, and I gave him a 7. Right?
I'll give him a 6.5 today. Yeah.
We'll come back to Thiago then, guys. In the comments, if you let's leave you guys to vote on it. 6.5 or 7 for Thiago, and then we'll put him in as and where we see you guys vote.
And I'm really, really happy he got up because he actually has a scar on his knee from the first challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think he should have done more than give Sanchez a little cuff in his head when he got up.
Yeah, for real. Curtis Jones.
I'd go 6.5 as well. I think just across the board, the midfield was a 6.5 across the board. I think Jones was doing quite well. He was everywhere today. In terms of his energy levels, he was always asking for the ball. And again, he wasn't brilliant. He wasn't amazing. But he had a good game. He had a good game. You know what I mean? So I'm just going 6.5 across the whole midfield for me.
It seems as though it looks like 6.5 is being the one voted for Thiago, so we're going to drop him in 6.5 as well.
Do you agree on the Jones for 6.5?
Oh yeah. I think he's quietly getting into a bit of form now, which is nice. I think Klopp did a good thing by kind of taking him out of the firing line a little bit and easing him back in here and there. I think Klopp's doing a good job.
Happy to see he's all right. Because remember, he went off with the injury as well not so long ago. So happy that he's actually still fit and he's all right as well.
Here we go now. Can I go first on this? Salah?
Yeah. Do your thing, bro.
It's 4 from me. I'm just gonna say it straight. I love Salah. He's one of my favorite players at Liverpool. I still think he's the best player in the world at the moment. But on today's performance, which we're allowed to judge him on today's performance, we're allowed to critique him on today's performance, he was poor. He was poor. I can't use the excuse of he's doubled up on and stuff like that. It happens to all top players. But he was poor today. His decision making, his shooting, his passing, he was poor. He'd beat his man and then lose the ball because he's overdoing it or making the wrong decision.
Yeah, that's true.
For me, that's poor.
I agree with you on his rating. However, I know you and me definitely have a difference of opinion on the 2 chances he missed today because I think they're 2 difficult chances and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think when he hits the post the first time, the 2 players on the line would block it if he doesn't get the shot accurate. And I think aiming for the bottom corner, I get why he did that. So even though I agree with you in terms of if you look at where he is on the picture, like, no, that's got to be a goal. If Mo Salah is taking a shot from 12 yards out, that has to be a goal. But there were defenders on the line that would have got the blocking. So I'm going to be a little bit less harsh on him for that. And I think the volley is really unlucky. I think if you're hitting a volley, a half volley, which it ended up being because it bounced just before he struck it on your weak foot, Cal, I think you have to give a bit of benefit of the doubt. That's a beautiful strike for a weak-footed attempt.
Fair enough. I don't.
Do you get what I mean? And so I'm going to be a little less harsh on him than you are for the two finishes that he missed.
But I mean, I don't really mention the misses drift, but the misses because I just think his overall game wasn't good.
I agree his overall game wasn't good, and that's why I agree he was a 4. If he
like,
did beat a man, he'd try and beat someone else and he'd lose it, and it was really weird.
So here's the thing, and I know I'm going to get smoked for this, but I'm going to say it because I just want to be honest. If he scores those 2 goals, but he still has the same game he has today, for me, he gets no higher than a 6.5. And I know that's going to like ruffle a lot of feathers because the importance of goals, and I get it. But if we're judging the whole 90 minutes, 2 goals for me doesn't make you get away with the fact of, he wasn't great that game. And to caveat that as well, when we played Watford earlier in the season and beat them 5-0 away from home, Bobby Firmino got a hat-trick, but Salah won man of the match. And Salah only scored 1 goal. So again, I get that goals are important, but it's not the be-all and end-all when it comes to player ratings, in my personal opinion. You've got to look at the full 90 minutes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, yeah, for me, it's a 4 for Salah.
And just on Mo, what is a little bit worrying about him is that's a back-to-back 4 for Mo. And that's never happened in his entire Liverpool career. He's had 2 back-to-back 4 performances. He's got to be taken out the firing line for a game and just get himself together. And the scary thing is we don't have any games we can do that if you're like thinking about what we're trying to achieve, because Brighton away is a very difficult game. So do you actually take him out for that game?
Yeah. Can I say something, Drift? Do you know what I think we should do one day? Whether it be for the members or for the main channel, do a video on player ratings as a whole. And the importance of
how you critique it and what's
and like certain moments in the game. Because let's say, for example, Lewandowski's going to obviously get a 10 for his player rating against Salzburg tonight. He scored 3 goals the last time I checked. But when we saw the goals back, 2 are penalties, 1's a tap-in, was the rest of his overall game good?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You know what? That's a beautiful idea, Cal, because what I'm doing right now is I'm thinking about loads of like stipulations that we can put in to make player ratings even more fun. So we can have a rating system where did he complete more than 10 passes in a game? It adds a half point. That, and get little things and start adding little stipulations that you can like build up. Like eye test counts for maybe 40% of the scoring. Did he get a goal? Did he get an assist? How many passes did he complete? How many dribbles? And slowly like add it up to make it maybe a little bit more unbiased or less personally how you feel about it, and more factual on what it is. That would be an absolutely amazing way to actually start doing it if you deep it. So yeah, that's a good idea.
And again, for you guys in the comments as well, do let us know if you've got any suggestions. We'd be more than open to hearing your suggestions. So if you've got a great idea on how we should adapt these player ratings as well, please do let us know, guys. Jota. For me, I'm gonna be real, it's a 3.
I'm tempted to give our first 0 to 2.
No, I'm not gonna go that far. For me personally, I'm not.
Bro,
wow, I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing 1s and 2s. For me, it's a 3.
So
I am seeing 1s
in Jota today, bro. I'm really close to putting him in 0 to 2.
For me, if I'm putting someone in a 2, it's like you probably like had 4 1-on-1s and bottled all of them badly, or
that wouldn't even make me mark you that low though, bro. It was like every time he got the ball, he did the wrong thing with it. The
You know what?
passing was bad.
I am seeing a lot of twos. I'm seeing
The
a lot of
passing
twos.
was bad, Cal. The controlling was bad. The movement was bad. The energy levels are bad. It burns me, bruv. Jota's my guy. But, bro, today, I don't think he did anything right. Like, honestly, Cal, can you try and remember? Bring my spirits up. Did he do anything right today, bro?
I was just about to say, I've been asked in the comments a few times, Cal, what did he do right tonight? I'll be real, I have no answer.
But I think he's got to go in I think he got to get a 2, Cal. He didn't do anything right. I honestly, bro, I don't, and it burns me. I don't remember him doing anything right. I really don't, bro.
I'm gonna be real with you. I can't even come back with a rebuttal. So if I can't come back with a rebuttal, I can't just bump him up just because I like
it.
him.
It really does burn me to do that to him, but I have to be honest. I don't remember Jota doing anything right. Anything right.
Yeah.
And it's really hurtful. And it's worrying. 2 of our front players are out of form. Jota had a bad game last game. So did Mo. That's really worrying for 2 of our front players to just both start slowly getting out of form at the same time. That's a little worrying. I can't even front, bro. It is a little worrying. And then this is the thing, bro. Ain't this when Minamino and Origi deserve a goal, bro? Because just because these men are the ballers in the team, it don't mean you can be throwing up 4s and 3s and 2s and still be playing, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. You see now, it's really hitting me how bad he was, because when I'm asked a question, like if you ask me a question and Drift say, let's say for example, you say, Cal, how you gonna beat Ngannou in a fight? I don't know, maybe get a gun and shoot him from across the road. And even then, I'm still not the favorite in my opinion. Yeah. So like when someone says, like I did, like I think he gets a 3, and then someone turns around and says, well, what did he do to deserve the 3? And you start thinking about the game, but I can't think of anything he did today where I'm like.
And you know what? And here's the thing, Cal.
Humbling.
You see, this is where agendas play roles. Because if Minamino did today what Jota did, oh my days. Can you imagine, Cal? If Minamino did today what Jota did, oh my God, we would have to actually maybe pause the chat and ask people to just understand that Minamino's a human being. I can imagine what would happen to Minamino if he pulled out that Jota performance today, bro. God forbid.
Although that's where I think credit in the bank helps players. As you've said before, credit in the bank does help. But I actually think Minamino's starting to build up enough credit in the bank where people would take a bad performance, and I say most logical people would take it and say it's one bad performance as opposed to him being just a crap player. I'd hope so anyway.
I hope so. Minamino has been brilliant for us this season for the role he's been asked to play. I really hope he's got that credit in the bank now. I really do. He's the reason we won a trophy, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Mane. Can I go first on this again? Because this is where I think we're going to see.
Yeah, I agree with you, because I remember we slightly spoke about it quickly. I agree with you. Straight down the middle.
Yeah. Mane's a 5 for me.
5. I agree. Straight down the middle.
Like, again, this notion that me and Drift defend Mane all the time and see he does no wrong. Like, I don't believe it exists. Like I said in the stream quite a few times, Mane ain't been great, but he's not been as bad as the other 2. And I stick by that. Like, there were some things he did well today and other things he didn't. But for me, 5 is absolutely fair.
Involved in the game the entire time. Had some brilliant moments, had some poor moments. Nothing really came to anything. Would have had the assist with a beautiful left foot cross if Mo does score that volley. I think 5 straight down the middle is a fair score for Mane, personally. He was definitely the better of the 2, but he wasn't great. So
yeah. Hendo and Naby.
I'm actually going to give Hendo and Naby both a 6.5. because I think even though they were down to 10 men, it's very unfair to judge them both on that. I thought they gave us back control of the game. And you got to remember, Inter Milan were down to 10 men, but all they did is sacrifice a forward. They still had 4 in midfield. So to be doing well in the midfield battle, when the numbers are even, you still got to give the credit to it.
Yeah.
So I'll give them both a 6.5, if I'm being honest, bro. They definitely gave us back some control of the game.
And it's not their fault that they had a player sent off either. Like
I mean, to be fair, maybe Naby is 6 and Hendo was 6.5 because I think Henderson was better than Naby. So maybe just a tiny bit more of a score for Hendo over Naby. But
fair dues. I mean, again, this is. I don't get where this whole. Well, how is Naby a 3?
Yeah, bloody hell. Naby did not have a poor game when he came on. Come on, guys.
How are we being biased? Like what? Like again, with all due respect, anyone, generally tell us how me and Drift are being biased today with the player ratings, and
also, 3. Hold on, people are saying that Naby should have a 3. Come on, guys. Anyone who's saying Naby should be a 3, flipping now. Come on, guys. What did Naby do wrong in order to get a 3? I don't get it, man. Yeah, it must be a trolling thing for real. It has to be. Like, you can't truly believe as a Liverpool fan that Naby got a 3 today. What are we doing here, guys? Come on. There's not a chance. Anyone who said that, come on, man. Like I said, I would maybe put Hendo just a 0.5 above Naby because I do think Hendo made a better impression on the game than Naby did. So even Naby being a 6, Hendo being a 0.5, I'm like that's good for me. I think Hendo did impose himself in the game pretty well when he came on, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I can live with that, Drift. I can live with that.
I think you definitely noticed that Henderson was on the pitch for the right reason, which for me is a good sign. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Diaz came on about 10 minutes too late for a start. But what we saying? He only really had the chance, innit? Where
Vidal with the most unbelievable goal line tackle, whatever you want to call it.
And here's the thing,
still got it.
And here's the thing, Drift. If one of our players does the Vidal tackle, we're praising our player.
Yeah.
You have to praise what Vidal did.
You have to praise the defending. That's got absolutely nothing to do with Diaz's finishing. He did everything right, but that was just a wonderful tackle from Vidal. Give the opposition the credit on that, straight up.
I'll be honest, even when you look, so they slowed it down. I don't know if you saw the slow-mo of the
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That's going bottom corner.
Vidal came out of nowhere, Cal. In the slow-mo, it looks like he's going in, and then all of a sudden Vidal's legs just come out of nowhere, bro. Mad. I'd probably go 6.5.
A lot of people even saying, even people are saying in the comments, like even 9 times out of 10, it still hits Vidal's leg and goes in.
Yeah, because it actually went over the bar, didn't it? You're right. So, and then the other occasion, it probably hits him. And you know what I mean? I'll go 6.5 for him because he wasn't on a pitch that long, but I thought he still made an impact. And I'm not blaming him for that miss. I'm not blaming him for that.
See, I was going to go for a 6 for him because he wasn't on the pitch. But saying that, we're judging him when the time he was on the pitch. Yeah.
It's just the 10 to 15 minutes he was on the field. So I think 6.5 is a fair score for Diaz.
Klopp.
Oh, I'll let you go first, bro. This is a tough one. He looked vexed before the game. Remember I said to you, I need to hear what he was saying because he looked angry in his pre-game interview. I'm like, what's wrong with Klopp? Why is he looks rattled. He looks a little bit annoyed, like somebody let off a stink bomb in the changing room or something. Like, he looked vexed, bro. Like, and then
I think for me with Klopp, I think it's a 6.5. I just like the starting lineup. I had no issues with. None whatsoever.
Never did I.
The lack of urgency with substitutions and tactical changes, that's what I had a big issue with. We could see, like, again, I'm no mystic Meg when it comes to this stuff, but when you can kind of see a situation brewing, and I did not predict they would score a worldie, but I could see an Inter goal coming because just the momentum of the game and how we were playing.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, for me, that could have been avoided. You make changes earlier. For me, Jota should have been looked at half time, and then you give him 15 minutes. If it's not good enough, you've got to start making decisions. You've got to start making changes. As you said, Minamino, Origi, Luis Diaz, all sitting on the bench. They're probably thinking, we're not going to see this front three play much worse than this. And even now, we still can't get on.
Yeah, that is
like,
bad.
To me, that's kind of demoralizing.
It is, bro. 100%. Especially when they've been on form. They're not sitting there as waste men. All three of them have massively contributed this season. So it's very demoralizing to know you're not getting any game time and you're capable. I gotta be honest with you, bro. Unless you have the type of defeat where you have a good game, but you were just unlucky, or like when Chelsea lost the final to us, and you can't really blame Tuchel for the defeat, so to speak, and little things like that. Then I think you can still get like a decent score even with a loss. But I can't lie, bro. If you play terribly and you lose the game, I'd give Klopp a 5 today.
You're going 5.
I mean, obviously, if you can disagree with
me,
but
we're going in the middle then of 6. Then
poor substitutions, lose the game, they never regain any form of control during the match.
5.
I'm really struggling to give Klopp any higher than a 6 is going. Like, I'm disappointed with the way the game went today. I can't lie. I am.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is just a game we're judging a team on. Like, again, in fact, I'm not even going to speak for you, Drift. I'm going to speak for myself. We're still in all 4 competitions, innit? You know my thing. I'm not giving up on any of them until it's impossible for us to win one of them.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But, like, we need to find ways of doing better in games like that. And look, the fact that we've gone against players we've gone against teams who have gone down to 10 men, I think 3 times this season, and we failed to score in all 3 of those games. For me, that's a little bit of a worry.
Yeah.
First game against Chelsea, you can understand they went ultra defensive. Second time against Arsenal, a League Cup, I think you should have enough there to do it. Third time in this Inter game, especially where they're not even playing defensive because they're chasing, something needs to be addressed there. We like Man City see teams go down to 10 men, and teams know that the game's done, especially if City are already in the league. If they're not in the league, then you know what's coming next. 9 times out of 10, you know what's coming next. So, yeah, it's a worry for me, that little statistic.
Yeah. I think Introvert hits the nail on the head here, as in we were playing for the draw. So I don't necessarily even know if we cared that we weren't going to get the goal as long as we didn't lose the game. And again, maybe it's easier to say it now out loud. In my head during the game, I was thinking, if they get another goal, God forbid, that means they've got 10 men for extra time, which would still give us the advantage. I didn't want it to happen, of course, but you would probably still be confident at home, at Anfield, with a man advantage. That extra time, you should still bloody go on and win that game. I think we played for the draw. I really do.
So I hate to bring this up. I'm going to keep this really short and sweet. If this is true, really and truly, do you know what needs to be done? If social media companies really love and care about people like they say they do, then you go and find the people who are doing these messages, you block them for life, and you report them to the police. It's not hard. Like, being open and honest with you guys, if we play a song on this channel right now, within 20 minutes, we get a copyright strike. But yet people can go on the internet and do racial and abusive sexism, prejudice, like homophobia. You can do all these things and get away with it. But yet we play a song for more than 5 seconds, probably not even 5. We play a song for 5 seconds, copyright strike within 20 minutes. It's ridiculous. But we collectively need to put more pressure on these social media outlets as well. Because if we are the ones with the power, we stop using their platforms, or we start putting a stand down, then they'll have to do something about it.
Imagine having a bad game, and then somebody comes for your religion, your family, the color of your skin.
You know my thoughts. I've got very, very harsh repercussions of stuff like that. So Yeah,
You know
my
what?
thoughts.
I struggle so hard to just understand the mindset of someone who's still got a problem with someone because of the color of
Yeah,
their skin. What the
but do you know what
fuck
it
is
is, Drift?
going
You
on,
see,
man?
after even like, let's say for example, we get spanked 5-0. I don't think I've ever gone into any of our players' comment sections and just abused them.
No.
Like, again, don't get me wrong, we talk about on here,
Yeah.
but this is our job. But to go out your way to write a message, then send it to someone abusively, like you've got to be some sad sap to do something like that. Just some Colby Covington little bitch, man. Like, just, boy. Cam J, is it me or all our losses have been against 5-3-2? I'd have to. No, West Ham didn't play 5-3-2, did they?
We need to do a little investigating on
Yeah,
that.
I'd have to.
So, yeah.
My memory's good, but not that good still. Taji says, bros, do you think Jurgen Klopp should have brought Diaz on earlier? He's been our best front player up front, most creative and direct and techie. What do you think? Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, Cal, can I just say one other thing as well? Because someone just made a brilliant point. How is there racism in football when football must be the most internationally diverse, like, form of work, so to speak, in the world? And the thing I hate the most about racism is it's conditional. And this is the thing that I hate the most. Because you'll be cheering for that black guy or that Arab guy or that Indian guy or that Chinese guy or whatever when he's banging in the goals. You'll be cheering for him. Go on, son. Tacky, have some of that or whatever you want to call it. The moment he messes up, bro, the moment he's a Saka or a Sancho and he misses a penalty in a final or something like that, all of a sudden, now his skin matters.
Yeah, because they're the entertainment.
Like now, it's conditional, innit? It's really conditional what your love is, innit?
Yeah.
Madness, bruv.
They're just saps, man. Yafu says, would you take back Genie on the cheap? No.
Oh, hold on a minute.
No. Let me finish. Hold
on a minute.
Let me land.
Where are we, Cal? Come on.
Let me land. I got you.
There's turbulence. Go on, land it.
I love Genie. I think the disrespect he's been given from a large section of our fans is nothing short of disgusting. Especially when I see how some fans love Coutinho. That's not a you, Drift. That's not even a dig at you or Matt. But I find it absolutely disgusting. The reason why I wouldn't take him back, though, is because I feel as though we can get another player who can do something similar to what he does, which is not us going backwards. We should have just renewed his contract, but we didn't. We're here now. For me, let's go and get a younger version of a Wijnaldum, like a De Jong or a Basuma. I'm not saying these are the players that we can just snap our fingers and get, but there are players out there who can do what Genie was doing. And for me personally, I think we should go and get a replacement for him.
Okay, so just to give you a little curveball to see where your head's at, let's say Klopp went, all right, I adore Jones and he's 100% in my plans, but I actually want to give him either a 6-month or a 12-month loan at a Brighton or a Leeds or somewhere where he's going to get week in, week out football, because at 21 years old now, 2021, I think he's got to start actually playing weekly to actually become the player we know he can be. So say he loans Jones out for 6 to 12 months and Ox leaves and we was to get Basuma and Genie. So Genie's not coming instead of a player. It's just correcting the mistake and Genie comes back as well as. So Eves and Genie walked through the door in the summer and Jones went on loan and Ox went. So the numbers remain the same, but we've got our boy back and we've added. Would you then be okay with Genie coming back?
Where do I sign? Where do I sign?
Okay, cool.
Where do I sign?
And the thing is, everybody talking about how bad he's been playing at PSG. Come on, guys. Even Messi ain't looking good at PSG. Context is 100% needed. 100% needed in this. PSG are a team who are kind of all over the place. They don't know what's going on over there. Like
context.
So,
you gotta have
come
context.
on, guys. Come on. Because remember, these are the same people, and this is in the shot of you, Cal. Like, this is just general. There was people saying that because of what's happened at Barcelona, Coutinho was done. And the move to Villa is showing no, he wasn't. It was the team he was at. It was where he was. He was at a team that was all over the place and it was making him look bad. Look how he's sourcing it up back in the Premier League. Don't look at what's going on with Genie at PSG and make that the reflection of him. He's still an absolute brilliant player and I miss him and I'll take him back straight away. What, Genie comes back in to replace Ox? Bless him. I love Ox as well, but Ox's time does look like it's done at Liverpool. What are you saying? We bring Genie back in to replace Ox? Guys, I don't have a pen, but where do I sign? Like, are you mad? Come on, guys. Come on.
Dean said, Klopp doesn't know how to set up a team according to the opposition. This game was screaming for Tsimikas, Elliott and Diaz. Look at what he did when he came on. Don't know much about Elliott, but yes, I agree. But Tsimikas is a difficult one because Robbo was good today. Like, I think Robbo was really good today. So,
yeah, and I think Klopp was doing the whole stare at the wall thing with Tsimikas today because he was telling him off.
Yeah,
and I was just
telling
like...
him off for something wild. AA says, Cal, you have Haaland and Coutinho or Coutinho. Oh yeah, I'd take Haaland and Coutinho and then I'd sell Coutinho.
He's not going to give up. He's not going to give in, sir. He's not going to give in.
Guys, he disrespected the club, man. Like, I'll never understand the Coutinho thing. I've just moved past it now because it's something I'll never understand.
He only collects fantasy points, guys. That's all he does.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
he collects his fantasy points.
Facts. Brother, he came out recently and says, I don't regret what I did. What more can man... Look, Drift.
No, but what he meant was to chase the dream to go to play for Barcelona, not the way he did us dirty, that he just always wanted to play for Barcelona.
All right, Drift. All right, check this, yeah? Say, for example, my missus has a massive crush on, let's say, I don't know, I'll use Trey Songz as an example. Great looking guy, can sing, like, she's got a crush on him. And he slides into her DMs on a random, was like, yeah, leave your man for me. And then she goes and cheats on me and he does her dirty. And then I call you, Drift, and I'm like, yeah, Drift, been speaking to the missus. You reckon I should get back to her? What are you going to say?
Do you want my honest opinion?
Keep it PG, obviously.
No, yeah. My honest God's honest truth, bro. I'll say to you, bro, if you believe that your pride can get past what she did to you, you have 10 years in and 2 kids together. For the sake of the family, if you can get past it, I would take her back and put her on probation.
Probation.
No, bro, that's God's honest truth. That's what I would say to you, bro.
Yeah,
but
I'm a bit...
all right, so let me put you like this: if she went on a date with him,
whether you
she didn't leave you, she went on a date with him, and all they did was have dinner and have conversation.
You're still too far, bro.
She's still on probation, but I would say to you, bro, if you can get past it, then take her.
Your missus would be all right if you going on a date with some girl you got a crush on.
No. We're talking about you and yours at the moment.
Yeah, if I ever go down for a crime, bro, you're my lawyer, bro.
We're talking about you and yours, bro.
You're my lawyer, bro. Just will stand in court, be like, you can't handle the truth. Tom says, you don't think we're controlling games as high up the pitch like we used to. Our centre backs are having to do a lot of ball deeper in our half rather than on the halfway line, which allows us to pressure the up more. I agree with that. That's actually a great tactical analysis there, Tom. Agree with that.
Couple man is saying you just got to give her an extended timeout facing the wall, Cal.
Can you imagine?
At the bottom of the stairs so you can see her as well.
True. I got a back drift. Last season, Salah has had games like this plenty, but because he scored a goal, we don't mind it. If it was Mane, let me not speak. That's true. I'll say it for you, Drift, so the people don't come for you. They can come for me. It's true. It is true. Promo says maybe the Diaz signing has had the opposite effect. If it has, then the players aren't as mentally strong as they should be. But
the opposite effect on which player, though, Promo? Which
in terms of like players like Jota, who now probably fear as though They were
Oh,
starters,
okay.
guaranteed starters, but not.
No. I don't think it's that because Jota was playing well while Diaz was here. I think it's the injury. Something, you know what? I think what we got to remember as well, guys, is that they're humans and maybe Jota's going through something. I think we very easily always skim over the fact that they're people in it. Jota might be going through something. Mo might be going, but Mo might not have actually got over AFCON. He came in, he tried to come back to work straight away. And it's almost like a bereavement to a degree when you have that level of disappointment. Like maybe he needed to grieve, maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there could be so much more to it. Jota may just have some personal issues. I don't know, man. Like, do you know what's crazy, Cal? And this is how fine-tuned professional sport is. I'm not trying to make excuses for Mo and Jota when I'm saying this. I'm just trying to be as honest as possible. What if you're a footballer and you have a really restless night and you have an argument with somebody and you don't get no sleep and then you've got to wake up and go and play football? Have you ever been tired, guys, and tried to play football, but you're not having a good game? And do you know how easy it would be to have a bad night's sleep after a problem that might have happened in your personal life? And straight away, that could disrupt whether you have a good game or not. I think we really forget they're people sometimes. I do. I really do. And Jota and Mo right now may have just had something happen in their personal life, might have had a bad day, anything. Like, let's not panic. Like, it's Mo and Jota in it. Let's not panic. Just because they've had 2 bad games in a row.
There's no panic. There's no panic.
It's a little worrying. But, you know, anything could have happened. Anything. Jota to get a brace against Brighton. Fuck it. Let's do it, innit?
Pete Al says Salah averages 4.8 in the last 3. Taki should play versus Brighton.
That's quite scary. That is quite scary.
It's hard to leave Mo out, though, isn't it? Because we know there's a flick of a switch, he can just turn it on and smash a hat-trick. It's hard. Mo's a tough one.
Yeah. But, you know, maybe we bring him off the bench then. Maybe Mo holds bench for the next game and he's at the ready, raring to go for the last 30 minutes in the game if it's not going well. And then you bring him on and then he changes the game for us. This is what we're supposed to do when we got the squad. Cal said it so beautifully. What is the point in having the squad finally and then you don't rotate?
Yeah, it's mad.
The whole point in the squad is to rotate.
Yeah. Lord Walker says Sanchez reckless all game. That accumulation plus 2 yellow cards equals a red. Fully agree. Should have been off in the first half. Omar says I believe we controlled most of the game overall, and then went on to say, other than missing, played his part not horrendous. That was Salah, I'm guessing. I don't.
Is that Egyptian currency as well? Big up yourself, Omar. If that's all the way from Egypt, big up yourself. I'm trying to think what EGP is in currency. Let us know with a normal chat, bro, what where that's coming from. Because if we're getting people tuning in from Egypt, that might be one of the only places I don't think we've ever had any viewers tuning in from, Cal. So that would be big still. We've had Egyptian people in the chat, but I don't know if we've ever had an actual someone in Egypt actually watching. So, Omar, if you're coming in from Egypt, let us know, bro. Big up yourself, man.
Respectfully, Omar, I disagree. I don't think we controlled the game personally.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to say, oh, it is Egyptian. All right, big up yourself. They're coming in all the way from Egypt.
Big up, Omar. Much appreciated, man.
Big up. Yeah, I think Inter were a better team, Omar. If I'm being quite honest with you, if you take the score out of it, I actually think over the 180 minutes, I actually think Inter were a better team. I can't lie.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
John says Genie is stinking up Liga, move on.
We addressed that already, innit?
Yeah, we have. I disagree. I'm not gonna say I disagree with that he's stinking up the league, but that doesn't mean he's a rubbish player, in my opinion, and that he wouldn't have an impact on. Put it this way, I genuinely believe Genie's in our squad right now. I think we're a much better squad with him in our squad than with him not in our squad. So 100%. Kadir says, Cal, don't worry, I'll start a position to bring Genie and Coutinho back. Kiss my bro. Look, if we
signed Coutinho, I would literally do a show where you could hear me and Matt in the background, but it would just be a close-up of Cal for the entire show.
I'm not going to lie. It would be a rough show.
God. Oh my God.
Guys, I'll be honest. Bigotry isn't born but taught by parents. It's the responsibility of us to teach kids that everyone is equal, regardless of skin color or religion. Need more love in the world. You never walk alone.
Drop a bomb. Drop a bomb for Beige and Barnes. You have never seen a racist baby ever in your life. You have never, ever seen a racist baby. Facts. Absolute facts, bro. Absolutely.
I'll be honest, Robbie seems to like my white and Asian friends more than he likes me. So like that just says a lot, bro.
I think that might be a little bit to do with the fact that you've already got him helping with the washing up, but we won't.
You said, all right, take that bottle out of your mouth. Wash it. What I will say though, I won't just limit it to parents. I think sometimes it might be outside influence as well. I don't think it's just parents.
It's a societal issue, Cal.
It's
been a problem.
Yeah. Someone is teaching that child something. That child doesn't just wake up racist.
It is a societal issue, 100%.
John says 14 touches in 5+ games in 90 minutes. Genie is done. Context.
I get those games.
He's not been good. But context.
And he's coming in cold. He's not playing regular. Then when he's playing, he's expected to just be brilliant. Context, guy. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
AA says, we not done yet, Cal. You rather have Haaland and Coutinho or Suarez, and you can't sell any of them. I'm taking Haaland and Coutinho. I can't.
Yeah, we got him to say you would take Coutinho.
Yeah. I can't express how much I despise Luis Suarez.
Yeah, for reasons we was just talking about.
Like, I try and be professional in it. Like, if I saw Luis Suarez, I don't think I could sit in the same room as him comfortably. I'm never gonna lash out or do a madness, but yeah, I just despise the guy. Whereas Coutinho, I could be around Coutinho and not have a problem. Like, just don't speak to me about Liverpool. Big up to Uncle Sharma. Bless up, bro. Thanks again for the preview, guys. Make sure you go over and check out Uncle Sharma's channel. I'm gonna drop the link in the description, actually.
And you know what? Shams must be quite pleased at the moment as well, because even though he obviously would rather go through, he said he would be very happy with a draw or a win, even if they went out, because it's an improvement. So he must actually be quite happy with the fact that they did get the win. So big up, bro. We'd definitely be getting Shams on again at some point, regardless of whether it's to do with Inter or not.
100%. So, guys, link to Shams' channel is in the chat. So make sure you go over and support him. As I said yesterday, he came over onto our channel, gave us great insights about Inter, took time out of his schedule. So please go and show him love, guys, and get him up to 3K.
And you know what? I'm bloody happy Barella was missing for them 2 games. Big up for getting that red card, Barella, bro. Yeah. Because I'm not even going to lie. Barella plays in these games, and it's a totally different situation.
Yeah, for real.
Totally different situation. So, bloody hell.
Big up Nerve Beats. It's been a while, bro. Even missing you on Fridays, Nerve Beats.
What's going on?
What's
going on?
Do we struggle to break down a back 5? Yes.
Yeah.
Short answer, yes. Dean says, yeah, but remember that bad pass from Robbo. Simicast would have delivered a better ball. We need Elliott for creativity. That midfield was too flat, Cal. I hear that.
Although, do you guys remember that one game where Simicast took a touch too much and it was almost the same type of situation? And we said, Simi, why don't you just cross that in? It can happen. How often does Robbo mess up that cross? 1 in 10? 9 out of 10, he whips that in.
Yeah.
So we got to give Robbo a blow on that. And he must have been knackered. That was at the end of the game. And he done a bloody lot of running today. So,
he did.
You know what I mean?
Nick says, what's Mane's excuse then?
Excuse for what?
Yeah, for playing poorly. Nick, with all due respect, all right, so there's another one from Nick. Mane can't go past defenders. Can't go past the defender. No one. We've seen him beat players recently.
Yeah, come on. And you know what? What Mane has been doing wonderfully well, that like I think that is completely like maybe you're not paying attention, you're ignoring it. He has got a beautiful way of having the defender up against him and rolling him.
Yeah, he did that a few times today.
He done it about 3 or 4 times tonight. That is still beating a man. It's still, you don't have to square him up and do a little skill and duppy him to beat your man. Having your knowing how to use your body strength to roll the player. He did that today on at least 3 or 4 occasions. Come on, guys. Now we're just nitpicking. That is really nitpicking. Like, come on, man.
Mane was good tonight, man. Like,
Yeah, come
again,
on, man.
everyone
That's
knows
nitpicking.
with me, like, not even trying to stick it on your head, Drift. Like, you're probably Mane's biggest fan on the channel. Everyone knows
100%.
Mane. Like I said, Mane has to prove himself from now to the end of the season. Same with Firmino. Mane's proving himself. Mane was good today. You want to speak about the past games where he was bad? Yeah, by all means. But let's not lose sight when he has a good game. Like that's not being justified or fair. Like I've said what I've said on here about Minamino, for example. But I don't come on here when he's had a good game and berate him or say he's not good enough. And this, like, we have to be fair, man. Like, just be fair. Don't get it. Mr. Dare I say it, just saying into with a better side over 2 legs is like saying saying she's your wife and she loves, but she wants me in it. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's like
That is a wild analogy, Mr.
Yeah, that is wild.
I'm never gonna lie. That is a wild analogy, bro.
That is wild.
Oh my days, that was wild. Still,
that is wild. Oh boy. Well, guys, we're about to wrap up. Drift, anything you want to say before we take the people out?
No, man. I'm just glad we're through, bro. I'm just glad we're through. And with all due respect to him as a human being, screw the ref today. That was one of the worst refereeing performances I've ever seen in my life. And I think we need to try and figure out a way that something needs to be done about this, Cal, as well, because I always say it and I mean it. Like, I truly mean it when I say it. And it always just goes over people's heads or it goes under the radar. No one even really pays attention to it. You cannot be a referee making the poor decisions that are being made. You cannot be in the VAR and make the poor decisions that are being made and just continue to get away with it. Because to me, it feels like cheating. It genuinely feels like cheating. The refereeing today, other than the red card, which he was forced to give, like he had no choice to give the red card, he was making the most outlandish decisions, bro. I mean, like, you're watching the game and you're like, no, I'm confused. I'm confused. Remember when Jones was taken out on the edge of the box and he said, play on, bro?
Yeah, bruv.
Do you remember when Flacco made a wonderful tackle when he said it was a foul? Do you remember when Naby didn't even touch him?
Yellow card. Remember when Mane got blocked off and got yellow card?
When Salah nearly got whiplash. Like, I'm remembering, and I'm like, you don't notice it during the game because you're enthralled in the game, but afterwards, when you take yourself out of it, you think, this is just embarrassing beyond belief. Like, it's embarrassing, bro. It's actually embarrassing. You can't be this poor at refereeing at the highest level.
I could have reffed that game better.
And then it comes to a point where you're like, bro, do we need to start getting into the like what's to stop a player from actually a referee from actually cheating? Like, we got to be real. What is actually to stop a referee from cheating? Because they're a human being and they could secretly have any kind of agenda that you have absolutely no idea about. Yeah. That handball against Everton, and again, take the bias towards Everton out of it and the fact we're in a title race with it being Man City. Just for a moment, guys. All banter aside, just for 1 minute. If Everton get relegated by 1 point and Man City win the league by 1 point, it is down to actual cheating in the VAR booth. I'm not chatting shit. I'm not skewing over anything. Everybody in the whole world is actually confused as to that decision. It has been proved it was not offside in the build-up, and they said there was not sufficient evidence to overrule the referee, no handball. So if Everton get relegated by a point, or Man City win the league by a point, I know there's a 38-game season, and you can say it's not necessarily that point, but right there, that's cheating. And you just get away with it. You just get away with it. It's just nothing, bro. Man, I'm at the point now where I'm almost like, let's just have robots reffing the games because robots don't have emotion in it.
For real. Nick says, not having a go at Mane. I love Mane, but poor at the moment. I don't think he's been poor recently. I think he's been pretty good in the number 9 role. I disagree, Nick. I disagree.
Adapting to a new role, Nick. A role that, he's barely played. 4 goals and an assist in 5 games. Nearly had another assist today. I think that's harsh.
Taji says, Sadio, my boy, but very, very inconsistent, and we need consistency and drift. My opinion isn't an agenda, but an in-game analysis. Enough respect, my bros. See, that I agree with.
No, but I've never really seen Taj go in on Mane. So I'm not going to say Taj has an agenda, but there are a few people, Taj, that I noticed that just have the same thing to say all the time about a player. And that's when I'm like, come on, guys, man. You got to pull back on the agenda. You have to. And if you're a Liverpool fan, you can't dislike a player in the Liverpool team to the point where even if they play well or all right, you still gun for them.
Yeah.
Like, they play for us, guys. Come on, man. Like, no matter what, but I've still sat here and said good things about Adrian when he's deserved it. And everybody knows I don't believe Adrian is good enough to play for Liverpool. But I gave him man of the match in an FA Cup game because he was brilliant in the game. I don't have an agenda against him, against his performance if he plays well. I just believe overall he's not good enough. I celebrate. I'm the one who sat here after the Super Cup and said, you know what, on a human level, I am so happy that Adrian, at 30 years old, finally gets to win a trophy. Because putting to aside whether he's good enough to play for Liverpool, do you know how amazing it would be to get to that stage of your career? Don't think you're ever going to win a trophy and then you finally get to win one and you're integral to it. As a human, I was over the moon for Adrian at that moment. He's just not good enough to play for Liverpool. But if he has a good game, I will say it. So when I see people having good games and you're still going in on him, I'm like, come on, man. He's still a Liverpool player. If he has a good game, you can't grill him. Even if he has a 6 out of 10. Don't come in here saying he's not good enough. He had a 6 out of 10. That's all right. It's above average. Come on, guys, man. Come on.
Omar says teams using black magic so we don't score mad. That's probably the best way of stopping us scoring. Also, Ali A, we did almost forget to touch on this. Yes, thoughts and prayers to the person in the stands who needed medical attention. Hope that person is all right. And hope this starts to slow down. We're seeing a lot of it happening at the moment. So God willing,
it is a little worrying still.
Yeah. But people, keep an eye on social media for when we're next back. We will be announcing on social media when we're next doing a live video for you guys. Again, if you haven't already, please do smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go on, Drift.
Yeah, I was just going to say, guys, we may be pushing the Prem Panel show forward to 6 p.m. on the Thursday rather than the usual 9 p.m. because there's games this weekend. So stay tuned and we'll let you guys know. Hopefully you guys can all still join in with the slightly earlier time as well. And guys, I don't want to cancel the show. I really don't. But it's getting a little bit it's getting a little bit unnecessary to run the show without you lot in inclusion. And again, I totally understand if people don't want to do it or don't have the time. That's not an issue here. But if you look at our Kopish community as a whole, when we're only getting 1 or 2 reviews in, it's a little confusing because I know you guys want to have your say and want your opinion and stuff. So guys, I even give you 24 hours almost to get the review in. So if you guys do want the review to continue, come on, guys, get your reviews in, send them to teamkopish@gmail.com. You know what I mean? And big up the regulars, as always, the guys who always get them in. You know who you are, you know what I mean? You man are legends for that. Get your reviews in, you know what I mean? And send them to teamkopish@gmail.com. Landscape people and get them in as soon as possible. You know what I mean? It's the show we give to give you guys your chance to have anything you want to say about the game. So there you go.
Pete Hour says Ali 8, Trent 7.5, Matip 7, Virgil 7.5, Robbo 8, Fab 6.5, Thiago 6.5, Curtis 6.5, Salah 3, Mane 5, Jota 2. Mane would be the same as Salah, but he didn't miss chances. I think some of those are quite generous, if I'm going to be honest.
And I disagree. Mane would be the same as Mo without the missed chances. But I think Mane was still involved in the game. But,
same.
Yeah. Lovren might be coming back as well, boys. Might have some good news on the horizon.
If ever.
Coutinho and Lovren. Let's do it just for the look on Callum's face. Come on, guys. Let's get.
I'll be in the mud. I'd be in the mud if that happened. Mr. Dare I say it, Drew says, if City win the league by 1 point, it's like your wife cheating and everyone says it's not right, she cheated and you should just forgive her just because it probably would be. I'd look at my friend sideways still. But yes, people, smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Really appreciate your patience with us tonight. Appreciate you guys viewing and watching. Really appreciate you guys. Check out our social media. Subscribe to us on, or follow us, shall I say, on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Till we see you next time. Liverpool quarterfinals, 4th time in 5 seasons. Quadruple still on. Let's go.
Peace.
Big up, people.
Big up.